Hey Tim, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Reza?
Good, man. It's nice to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Where are you currently?
I'm in Belgrade, Serbia. And what about you?
I'm in Charlottesville, Virginia. This
A full
is
remote team, indeed. That's what Aeko is, and global too.
global for sure. Yeah, it's nice to talk to you today, and it's a nice opportunity to share with others a little bit more about Echo and what we believe and why we exist. So to kick that off, I think I'd love to, share with others a little bit about how you and I met. And maybe you could tell folks that story.
Absolutely, yeah. This was back in 2009. I moved to the US to do my MBA at UC Berkeley at Haas, and we ended up being roommates. And we very quickly became very close friends. Now we have a long history of friendship that's rounding up really beautifully into a business relationship. And as someone who started businesses before, I think there's a huge value to a friendship, to knowing you, to trusting you, and being able to build something beautiful that Echo is growing into. Maybe another thing, one story I love personally is the story about the name of Echo. Do you want to maybe share that with the audience?
Yeah, that's a nice story as well. So Echo, Aeko, is the name of my dog. He's a Siberian Husky, the first dog I had. I have two Huskies now, Echo and Rio. But Echo, he's a very sweet dog. I love him so much. I love his personality. And furthermore, the word echo is really meaningful to me, especially in the context of this consulting company that we have started. Um, it to me, it connects with the the sense of meaning, the sense of purpose that we look for throughout our lives, and that reverberates within us, and is always looking for a way out. I think we desire a sense of meaning and a sense of purpose in the work that we do. And it's not always clear for us what that is or how it's going to come into the world. And one of the main purposes, I would say, of this venture is to help others, to help people, to help teams, to help organizations, startups, to be able to bring that same sense of purpose and sense of impact into the world, to help them bring forward what may be reverberating, but is challenging to bring forward. And in that sense, the word really connects to the purpose of the work that we want to do.
And also, I would say the ripple effects, right? Of if we do work with positive impact, it will have positive ripple effects and spillover effects to others as well.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. At Echo, we believe in the success and well-being of people, of organizations, of communities, and of the planet, right? So I think when you think of a world that is in constant change, newly emerging challenges, accelerating levels of complexity, we believe that we can enable leaders and teams and organizations to really drive performance, to drive their results, and to drive impact towards a thriving future for all of life, not just the profit motive of an organization, but also all the stakeholders that are connected to the work that they do. Clients, obviously, vendors and suppliers, employees, community members that may be impacted or connected to the work that an organization does. The planet in terms of our waterways, our airways, the soil, the plants, and the biosphere in general, and the animals. So all of that, all of those stakeholders are important, and we are all connected, and the sense of connection echoes, right? And so this
Exactly.
is why this is why we exist as an organization and what we believe and why we want to help organizations be able to advance their work and also the betterment of our planet.
Well, one aspect of our relationship that I also want to reflect on is the coaching work we did together. So it was about 5 years ago. I was working as a co-founder of a Silicon Valley software startup. And as some people know, it is as high of a pressure environment as one can be. And I was stressed out. I was anxious. And I needed a way to deal with this. So I reached out to you, Reza, and asked for help. And throughout the work that we did, I think it was very meaningful for me because at the end of the day, we came to sort of a conclusion of things that are meaningful and that drive and motivate me to do work on a day-to-day basis. And I think I'd love to share that with the audience today. So to me, it's really about creating communities and supporting individuals and leaders within those communities that help drive a lasting impact on others, on the planet. That's why I am in clean tech, and I care about sustainability so much. And also, I think another aspect is continuous learning, which really ties nicely into consulting work, because consulting gives consultants an opportunity to drive impact with people and teams and organizations that they work with. And to me, like the most successful consulting projects are the one where the consultant is not needed beyond the engagement. It means that the impact that the consultant has made has been lasting. And I worked in large corporations where there were embedded consultants in the organization, and in some ways that organization was dependent on consultants. I want to be the opposite. I want to enable people, help them grow, and then make sure that they can be sustainable without me. So maybe a couple of examples of these types of projects that I'd love to share. One includes a large corporate client. So it was LG Nova, the innovation arm of LG, and they wanted to work on clean tech. So we went and worked through all the way from ideation through to customer discovery for our requirements. But the lasting impact I think I made was driven by the fact that LG spun off its first clean tech startup in 2025. So I was able to see that process end to end and support the team end to end. The second project I always also love was with a very very early stage startup called Telematica, and the co-founders were essentially fresh out of college graduates in computer science, so no background in sales, and he created a very cool product that was basically doing APIs on distributed energy resource devices, and my role was to help them build their sort of partnership ecosystem, business development processes, etc. And even though that company ended up pivoting into a slightly different business, working with contractors today, it grew into a very successful, startup called Broccoli. And I had the great pleasure of meeting Abhishek, the CEO of Broccoli, in December when I was visiting San Francisco. And one of the things that he said to me that I treasure very deeply was that he attributes the success of Broccoli to the work that he did with me, because I helped him understand and learn about the sales and the business development process, and that actually supported him in acquiring some of his first clients for Broccoli, and now building a broad organization around that. So again, it's a lasting impact that ended up happening months after I left the engagement, but it was just so rewarding to hear that from the co-founder. And maybe with this, I think Reza, I'd love to hear about the reason and sort of the motivating and the drivers of the work that you do, and how that reflects into consulting as well.
Thanks for sharing, Tim. It's great to hear your motivations, your sense of purpose, the things that drive you, and to hear some of those really meaningful stories. I love hearing them. I've heard them before, but thank you for sharing them, with the world. And I know that I always appreciate hearing that. When it comes to what really motivates me, I really care about the development and progress and transformation of people, because I believe that the positive impact that I want to see in the world is going to come through the evolution and the transformation of people. I think we are the catalysts for really amazing things in the world. And we can also be the catalyst for really bad things if we are not really aware of where our motivations are coming from and why we do the things that we do. So I really care about the development and the transformation of people. so that they might bring, their best selves forward, and that they might realize, their dreams, their aspirations, and leave a lasting legacy on the world and leave a really positive impact on the world. So that's what I really care about. That's I would say that's my deepest sense of purpose and mission. Specifically when it comes to consulting, I mean, I've been consulting now for many years, and I love it because it allows me to, experience different kinds of projects, see all different kinds of problems, and make connections between different industries and different contexts that, without having those, diversity of experiences and those varied experiences, I wouldn't necessarily have. And that can be really powerful because, something learned in one particular project with one particular client in one part of the world could have a really meaningful impact somewhere else, because those lessons learned I can take with me and share with others. I also love to travel. Through consulting, I get to see the world and I get to really solve complex problems in a variety of contexts. And so consulting has, ever since I started working in this space, has been something that I love, which is why I continue to do it to today. And ultimately combining consulting with, work that is meaningful. So consulting not just for the sake of profit, but consulting for the sake of like truly deep transformation that impacts people's lives, the lives of communities and our planet. Like it all kind of comes together in this really beautiful, beautiful whole for me. And one project that, I think exemplifies this piece of transformation and and development of people is one of the first consulting engagements that I ever had when the first consulting firm that I started when I was really young. One of the clients was, a large financial institution, Fannie Mae. They're in the mortgage-backed securities business. And some of the, ins and outs of the business can be pretty complex. And I was, leading a pretty large team at a young age, and there were a lot of new folks who had come to work on this particular engagement. It was a priority for the entire organization, and there were a lot of consultants that were joining, some that were with my team and others that were with other teams, but they didn't really understand like the technical components and they didn't have the technical knowledge of the business that we were, supporting. And so I held a training. It was a several hour training, and I was able to really explain complex subject matter and topics in very simple terms, and really broke it down for people. And I could visibly see, aha moments. I could see things clicking for them. I could see them starting to understand and develop literally right before my eyes. And that's one of the very first moments that I can recall of being so thrilled by that, by being so encouraged, by being so happy, and a sense of like, a purpose and a sense of fulfillment by seeing somebody else grow, by seeing somebody else develop. It literally lit up my world. And so that was the very first indication that, working with others to help their development and their growth is really going to be central to the work that I choose to do in my life. So, yeah, thanks for letting me share and asking that question.
Yeah, and maybe just to wrap up, I think one of the reasons why Aeko as a community makes so much sense is because through this conversation, there's a lot of alignment in terms of the value sets that we share, what drives and motivates us on a day-to-day basis. All those things are shared between us and also the other consultants and our partners that we work with. So whenever I explain to others what is Aeko all about, I think at the end of the day, it's about impact. It's about a group of people that wants to make a positive impact on others. And that's I think at the very core what Aeko is all about.
Well said, my friend. Well said. Thank you for taking this time to talk to me and for sharing with the world more about, who we are at Aeko and what we believe. And I look forward to the next time we get to speak again.
Thank you, Reza, and looking forward to more to come.
All right, brother. Bye-bye.